What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Footy Fetish podcast with myself, Alfie. We've got Ollie.
Yo.
And we've got Bardell. Dan Bardell. How's it going, boys?
Very good. Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh, yeah, I guess Happy New Year. It's first podcast in the new year, right?
It is.
It is. How's everyone's 2022 starting?
Very good. You forgot to introduce two people on the podcast, Alf. You've got the mascots behind me.
Oh, yeah. How are they doing? How's the boy Frank's Reggie?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. Just a pre-warning now, anyone wearing headphones, you'll probably hear some dogs barking in the next half an hour when my mum comes home from work, but you'll be fine.
We'll be fine. We'll move on.
We'll move on.
But yeah, it's been, feels like we haven't had Premier League in ages, but we had quite a good FA Cup round, I'd say. Obviously, the better of the two cups in England. Not the Tin Pot Carabao, which teams seem to be ducking. I know we're going to get onto Liverpool, but you know, they're ducking out here, boys.
They are.
But yeah, we'll start with a bit of FA Cup, and we'll get on to a couple transfer things here and there because there's some quite interesting ones that have already seemed to have happened. And then we'll finish off by just previewing a few of the games this weekend, the big ones for the return of the Premier League.
Isn't there meant to be some games tonight?
There's West Ham, Norwich tonight. Obviously, Southampton beat Brentford 4-1 yesterday, I think, didn't they? In the end, which is a huge result.
Yes.
That's a bloody surprising one. Yeah, they've been struggling to score goals all season, Southampton, but bagging 4 against Brentford, man.
Not bad.
Yeah, but not too bad. But let's have a look at this FA Cup. Well, the big things of the FA Cup. I suppose there's one place to start. Ollie already knows. Nottingham Forest 1, Arsenal 0. Ollie, your boys, absolutely. Well, just fucked it, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a bit of a sort of weird game, really. I watched an hour of it. I then went for dinner about an hour in, so luckily missed the horrible stages of the game. But I just don't understand what was going on with it, to be honest. I know obviously we were playing a fairly different lineup to what we've been going with recently. Sort of Leno in goal. Obviously, we normally start in Ramsdale at the moment. Cedric Suarez at right back instead of Tomiyasu. Ben White, obviously, that's where he normally plays. Holding in the middle instead of Gabriel. That's probably one of the main reasons why he was bloody awful. Nuno Tavares, I've been happy with him throughout the season so far, but he was taken off after 33 minutes because he was appalling and got replaced by Kieran Tierney.
He threw something on the ground or something?
He was wearing gloves. He took them off and threw them on the ground and got annoyed. But you can understand the frustration, obviously, being taken off just over half an hour in. But yeah, Kieran Tierney came on in his place, and it was tactical sub, no injury or anything there. Charlie Patino started. Lokonga, Bukayo Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, and then Nketiah. So fairly different lineup to what we've been going with normally. We've got a couple of people out through AFCON, and we've also got a couple of people out through COVID and stuff like that. But yeah, a bit disappointed with it, really. I still thought with that squad we should easily be able to beat Nottingham Forest, but we just couldn't, really. I don't know what it was. We just weren't. There was nothing about us. We had lots of possession the whole game, but no shots on target. So.
Yeah, just couldn't create chances, man.
Yeah, that's it.
While obviously Forest created the big chance, ex-Palace boy Lewis Grabban getting the winner. Love to see it. But yeah, no, they look good as well. Forest, they were so up for it. That Spence kid, forgotten what it was Spence. I don't know what his first name is, but he was bombing it down that right hand side the entire game.
Yeah, it's Jed Spence, I think.
Yeah, and then obviously, like you said, Tavares was obviously the defender on that left hand side, was taken off early. With Tierney coming in, but then Tierney didn't seem to help too much defensively on that side when he was on.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a disappointing.
Like Tierney is a little bit overrated.
He's been playing a lot better since he's now come back into the team after being dropped.
Yeah, I think the competition between him and Tavares has helped them sort of both improve quite a lot. More so Tierney, just because obviously Tavares wasn't there beforehand. But I think he's definitely improved. I think a lot of the reason for his lack of consistency is just due to the fact that he's injured all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's made a glass that
Where
boy.
do you think Tavares goes from here? I mean,
I think it's
pretty bad to be substituted. I can.
Yeah, it is, but
at half time, fine, do it behind closed doors, But
I think it is what it is, really. It was FA Cup. Like, yes, obviously, I know Arsenal are meant to be the kings of the FA Cup and stuff like that, and we've won more FA Cups than anyone. But I think, yeah, we should have won, but we didn't. And I'm not going to dwell on it too much, to be honest. I think it happened. It sucks that it was against Nottingham Forest. If it was someone like a Premier League team, I would have understood it a bit more.
Yeah.
But
Sucks you got giant killed.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, who knows? The
a
last
good
time we
team,
were
though.
knocked out at this stage of the FA Cup was also by Nottingham Forest.
Oh, mad.
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah.
Can't remember when. But
I mean, obviously, a lot of, I guess, January and everything has been discussed about Nketiah and his future. Obviously, like, it's been rumours that he's going to obviously be, potentially coming to Palace. Now it seems to be that he's not. It seems to be staying, maybe potentially signing a new contract. Who knows at this point? But I tell you what, if he, with how he's talking, he needs to be doing better when he's getting game time. Because he did, from what I saw in that Nottingham Forest game, he did absolutely fuck all. And just, didn't look like a dynamic forward in any sort of sense of the game. But Bukayo Saka, I thought, played pretty well. Considering that, it wasn't a great game from the majority of the team. Rob Holding is an absolute joke. I don't understand how he's still playing football at a Premier League standard.
He's bloody awful. I hate him.
Yeah.
He's also definitely had a hair transplant.
Oh yeah. But then, like, I think we were saying in the group chat, I was like, I kind of respect him more for that, because if he's as rich as he is and he doesn't get a hair transplant for that absolute horrific barnet he used to rock, then we've got to start asking some questions. But it's kind of crazy, the drop off from Tomiyasu at right back. Like, if it's not Tomiyasu, you might as well just not play anyone there.
Well,
Cedric is just dog shit.
He's dreadful. This is why I'm glad that we are playing Tomiyasu. He's not been awful, I don't think. Tomiyasu, he's been pretty good up until now. Obviously, he didn't play in the FA Cup game, but still, I think he's the best of what we've got at the moment. Hopefully, we'll look to strengthen that position in due course. I don't think it's a major issue right now. I think we've definitely got higher things on our priority list, but yeah, I think it's still going to be good. I'm still hopeful. I haven't lost too much for Arsenal. Too much
You
respect.
still push for that top four.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the one thing that we need to be sort of 100% pushing for. So we've still got the Carabao Cup against Liverpool, but whatever happens with that game, I'm not really expecting too much from that game, really. Even though we shouldn't actually be playing it, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, I'm not expecting too much from that. I think we just need to focus on top four, get top four. The summer will become a lot easier then, because if we have that European football, especially Champions League, we're going to become a lot more of an attractive club again. I'd take top four over winning the Carabao Cup this year, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got to get in there, really. Well, that's the most important thing. Like, you can do with a cup competition, it's fine, but top four is the goal. It's been so long since you've been in the top four. Like that's
it's been
way
a couple
more
of years
important
now.
right now. Yeah.
I'm not really, but like out of the three main English trophies, like the FA Cup, Premier League, and the Carabao Cup, I think the Carabao Cup's the one I'd least want to win. Premier obviously being first, and we've won the FA Cup however many times, and we've won the FA Cup since we've not been in the top four. So it's just one of those things, really. I think we need to focus on the Premier League this year and just crack on with it and improve and solidify that top four place.
That's it. Well, Forest are moving on. Obviously, they're moving on to play Leicester at home. So potentially a double giant killer could be on the cards for the team. I mean, if they play the way they played against you guys, there's no reason why they can't beat them. But Bard, your boys, narrow escape and an undeserved win. You've got to say, in that 1-0 Villa win.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Like, didn't think we played that bad. Like, and I know that seems weird since all the fallout, but when I was watching it,
I'd say Villa were just better, right? But then just couldn't convert their chances.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching it, and comparatively against Wolves, that was just like, Wolves was awful from start to finish. Then I thought, we started well. I thought we came out, and exactly, maybe that's it. I didn't expect us to, maybe press as well. Well, actually, I thought we pressed quite well at the start, but maybe I didn't expect us to have the ball or control it as much as Villa did. And it's like, Villa got 2 offside goals, and yeah, they probably should have been 1-1 when Ollie Watkins latched onto, Lindelof's poor touch. But other than that,
I mean, Watkins should have scored early doors
yeah,
from that corner. Oh, was it a corner or just a cross? I can't remember. Where he just scuffed and it went past the post.
yeah, someone got a touch, didn't they? But yeah, I mean, I was kind of like, when Villa were on the attack, I wasn't concerned.
Yeah.
The only one I was the Lindelof touch. So I know there's been a lot of fallout, and everyone's like, "Oh, there's a mess at United." Now, I thought we played a lot better comparatively, compared to Wolves, and I thought our pressing was better, and I thought we did okay. Obviously, it's still not right. And then everyone's on Rashford's back, and I'm like, he probably had his best game in a United shirt for a while. He was just trying things. Nothing came off. He was trying things. So I don't get the whole everyone's on Rashford back since that game. Before, he was playing terribly. And I felt like, I don't know, I just thought if it was another manager, actually not even to blame Ragnick, but I don't know, people would be like, oh, well look, he came back, he was trying. He was fighting, you could see. He tried to have a few shots. He took that free kick, which was a poor free kick, but at the start as well, he was running at players, and there was that pass that he probably should have done a bit earlier to Greenwood when he played it across goal. But then that comes with confidence, and I'd rather see him try those things. And if he didn't try those things, then the talk after the game would be like, that was terrible.
His confidence is shot, like he's not doing anything.
Whereas he was literally trying so hard, and I thought he was trying to make things happen. So I don't know. I'm a bit confused on that one. And the only thing I would question that he did in that game was not run after the ball when Martinez spilled it. I thought that was very odd, and it didn't look right. But maybe he was absolutely just physically and mentally knackered because he had been running around for the first time in while, and to be fair, he's only just come back. He's not going to be fully match sharp, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, it was a narrow escape in the end. I think obviously both goals. I think the VAR call was right, and then the second one was literally an offside. So yeah, I don't see too much wrong. It's kind of like when you're playing so badly, a win's a win, and a clean sheet for us is great. So clean sheet. Sheet. I think you've got to grind them out.
I think considering the team that you guys put out as well, your starting 11 was pretty similar to your full strength starting 11, minus Ronaldo. But you were De Gea in goal, Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Greenwood, Fernandes, Rashford, and then Cavani. I said maybe only Lindelof out for Maguire, Cavani out for Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's not too dissimilar.
The only question in that, I mean, I look at it and I don't know what Ragnick thinks his best 11 is because of this formation. If it were me picking a team, then I would have Sancho in there, and I would probably I'd have Bruno in there, and I probably still would play Rashford, and I'll probably have Ronaldo and not Cavani in there. Do you know what I mean? So it depends in this formation. He's mixed it up so many times that I've not even kind of got to grips with what he's trying to do.
I don't think he knows what he's trying to do at this point in terms of formation-wise. I know the way he wants to play is evident, but the formation just seems to be the problem. He just doesn't have the players to play what he wants to play, like the formation he wants to play, and that kind of thing.
I think he needs, because he might have played McFred once maybe before this, but you would say that's your full strength if you're playing them two, but he's not really. I think he's tried his hardest to deviate away from that and played one of them, not both of them at the same time.
Well, he seemed pretty impressed by Van der Beek, right, from his post-match conference. He was saying that
I think
Van der Beek controlled it or something.
He said he did well in parts in that, but I think he's also said that Van der Beek can't do 90 minutes. He said he can't keep up with the game and the intensity that he wants, or at least that's what's been coming out. But then that's what that's what Ollie's been saying the whole time, is that he's fine, but he's not up to scratch.
Just not
He
fit
needs to work
enough.
on his fitness.
Yeah.
I think that's an obvious point of his, because whenever he's played, he's looked good up until 60 minutes, and then he's just dropped off. And I always say he's not set the world alight when he's come on. And he hasn't, and he did quite well. Maybe in the next game, you know, Ralph's going to do Fernandes and Van der Beek, and then maybe play with one up top. Or have Fernandes as a false nine, because Fernandes does press. Play Ronaldo, and then Van der Beek and McTominay, and then. Oh, I'm working it out in my head. And then Fred, I guess, maybe. And then Matic.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. When you play, and then,
tough.
but then in that, you've got no Greenwood, no Sancho, and no. Like, that's crazy. But then.
To be honest though, if you're
what...
gonna play Greenwood on the wing right now, you probably just don't want to play him because he does not know how to square the ball. He doesn't know how to cross it. He doesn't know how to square the ball. He does is cut inside and shoot, or just keep shooting. Like
he's a striker and he should be played up top. But obviously, when you've got the likes of Ronaldo and Cavani and sort of other people that you could play up there, it can be hard to justify putting Greenwood up top. But if you're not going to play him up top, what's the point in playing him at all?
In fairness, when Ollie was here, I strongly believe, and you wouldn't have I think this is reflective of Liverpool as well, is that he wanted an interchangeable front three with Rashford, Sancho, and Greenwood, and that on paper is great. And now you've got Ronaldo, so you've got to fit Ronaldo in there. And then when Carrick took charge, Ronaldo actually went to the left side, and Greenwood went down the middle in the Champions League game we played. So in my mind, Carrick was continuing to do that and tried to do that. I think that's the vision going forward, and that's the same vision that I would have had with this team, is have that interchangeable front three. Because although they're not wingers as such, they're forwards, aren't they? And Greenwood's so good on either foot that he should be able to be on either side, left or right, of a front three. So I don't think he necessarily needs to be, you know, your main number 9. But in this system, yeah, I think he finds it incredibly hard. And yeah, he had 3 identical shots that for some reason he took, and each felt like it was as if I was kicking the ball, which is hard as I can, but nowhere near as hard as it ever should be in professional football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they went the same place, and all Martinez had to do was just catch it. Like there was nothing smart about what he was doing, I don't think, in that game. But you know, maybe he's knackered. I don't know. I'm just taking the win as a win, I think.
yeah, definitely.
I did think we played a lot better than we did against Wolves. Our pressing was good. Everyone was raving about McTominay, and then I was like, did you watch the Wolves game? Because he was absolutely dog shit.
Yeah, he was terrible.
He was
The
the
one they-
worst player on the pitch.
The one they should be raving about, I guess, is Fred, right? Like he's got a couple goals or like a couple assists and a goal in his last few matches, right? So
Yeah. Well, I think with
Playing
Fred,
better.
Fred's like I have this love-hate online relationship with Fred. You either love him or you hate him, and he'll do 10 great things, but he'll do one stupid thing that is so Sunday League that you're like, how have you made it? Because you just
egregious.
don't get away with it. Yeah, it's so bad in what he's doing. So I think that's the issue with Fred, and I think a lot of fans want to love him because he does close down balls, and if he misses a tackle, then he puts his foot in and he'll make a foul. But sometimes he even misses those, and then that's when it's really annoying. It's when he does something brilliant, makes a tackle out of nowhere, drives with the ball, and then it's like, right, I'm going to lay it off. 2 players are free on either wing, and then just pass it to the central defender, and it's like,
Yeah.
for God's sake. Like,
You guys are you've got Villa again this weekend.
yeah,
haven't
Villa
you?
away this weekend,
But obviously with the addition of Coutinho in their team,
and potentially Luca Dean.
And
But I guess he
potentially
probably
Luca
won't
Dean, yeah.
play. I imagine.
you never know. But yeah, probably
we got them
not.
on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. So maybe if he signs in the next day,
Yeah.
maybe then
Saturday.
he could
Saturday.
feature up. Oh, I don't know.
There
they go.
It's gonna be a
But
tough
yeah,
one.
I mean, I think you know what? I think we'll do them. I think we'll do them again. I think we'll absolutely beat Gerrard's men again. Gerrard will be moaning, and yeah, happy days.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to United, the way that game went, they'd lose that under Ollie. 100%. They'd find some way to
Yeah.
lose that, I think.
I also think, as
and
well,
they got the win.
bear in mind, it's a cup game. You get through you by the skin of your teeth against Prem teams. The cup, it's always a difficult game against Prem teams. So I don't get how we get the win. Got the win, and like at the first, I'd rather play well for the first 30 minutes than be against Wolves where it was just absolutely dire. And then, you know, as I said, I don't really think they threatened too much other than the 2 disallowed goals they had, and then that Ollie Watkins chance that he should have put away when he hit the bar.
Yeah.
That one with the header and the cross, he didn't know anything about it. So like, I'm not bothered about that because that was actually that got headed onto him and he knew nothing there. So like, do you know what I mean? I just
definitely.
don't get the whole slamming of Rashford. I don't think we should be slamming Rashford considering he's played through the pain barrier for the past 2 years.
It probably would just do him good to just sit the rest of the season, train, maybe play for the under-23s or something, but just chill for the rest of the season. Come back next year, you know, actually fit and ready to go.
This is the thing. He wants to go to the World Cup, doesn't he? He needs to play to be able to go to the World Cup. That's the thing with a lot of players at the moment. I think.
Is he going right now? Do you think?
I think personally wouldn't take him.
Sancho's not going. No fucking chance.
No.
I think Rashford's going on sentiment. The relationship he has with
just because he's I think
because I actually think he's probably a big voice in the dressing room.
Yeah,
he's
a mainstay in that team. He has been for a while.
You know, and he took him to the Euros. He was bloody injured. So what does that say?
Yeah, true. I'm just hoping that I don't think Sancho should go. I think Bowen should take that spot. I think if we're going to give it to anyone, I think Jared Bowen deserves it out of a winger, pretty much out of any wingers in the English wingers right now. Maybe besides Sterling, because Sterling's actually been quite good for City this year. But Bowen, I think, should get that spot. But
feels well for England as well.
Yeah, exactly. Who have you guys got in the next round then? You've got Middlesbrough at home, so not, very winnable, obviously.
Well, not anymore. They've just signed Balogun from Arsenal on loan.
That's true. Has he played in the FA Cup?
He didn't.
No, he didn't play. Did he play? Did he play?
He didn't play in the last game. No.
Oh, so he should be fine. It's the first round of
I'm
the
not
Premier
sure if
League.
he's played the other day though. I can't remember. Oh, it might have been in Carabao Cup he played in.
This was the first round for the Premier League teams, wasn't it? So he should be fine.
Oh right, well yeah, he'll be fine then.
But yeah, just another couple of results that are hilarious. Cambridge United beating Newcastle 1-0.
Yeah.
Amazing on Kieran Trippier's debut. Obviously now Newcastle signed Chris Wood as well, which is pretty mad. 25 million to buy a player that I think it's 25. I think it was a release clause with something like maybe with
add-ons.
It's up to 25. But everyone's going on about this. As someone that has backed Chris Wood in Fantasy League for the last couple of seasons, he's not that good.
No.
And he's not the difference maker between staying up and staying.
As someone who's backed him, he's actually a lot better than people give him credit for.
That's
where you're going.
No, he's not. I always fall into the
inconsistent.
trap. I fall into the trap of getting him because I'm like, Chris Wood from a few seasons ago was wicked.
Yeah.
But I fall into the trap of picking him up and I'm like, I've gone 6 game weeks and he's done absolutely nothing. What's the point? But yeah, obviously Newcastle out. It's probably good for them, to be honest. They can just focus on staying up. I still don't think they will. I do actually think the Chris Wood signing is more of a signing him because he's a good player and they want him. I think it's more to take him away from Burnley, who are in the relegation battle with them and who now have no one up top, really, apart from Ashley Barnes. But I'd rather have no one.
God.
That is dirty, mate. That is such
Innit?
dirty tactics.
Innit? That's what I genuinely think that is. I don't think it's because they rate him really highly or anything. It's just because they're taking away from Burnley. 11 on points. We saw Huddersfield. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I love the fact that Shrewsbury and Morecambe both went 1-0 up against Liverpool and Spurs.
And then got shit pumped.
Yeah, and then ended up losing 4-1 and 3-1. But you see some Klopp celebrations after the game. He was acting like he just won the Champions League.
Right, I wonder what his celebrations were in his bedroom when they found out they're not getting investigated for the false positives.
Yeah, no, disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting. They're cheaters. Who knew it?
Should we touch on that now?
Yeah, go on. Let's touch on Liverpool. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to need at least half an hour for this. So yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, let me just give the context of what. Obviously, the game again. It is to do with the Carabao Cup game, right? Yeah. Like that is the focus on it. So the Carabao Cup game between Arsenal and Liverpool was obviously postponed due to the fact that Liverpool had 10 or so positive COVID results come back. so they postponed the results. But then it was later found out from Klopp himself, just coming out and saying it, that they had 10 false positives, and the only person that actually had COVID was Trent.
Yeah.
And somehow that's just okay, considering Bards, what you put a thing in the group chat of you're more likely to win the national lottery, Euro Millions, than you are to have 5 false positives, let alone 10. So I don't understand what's going on. Liverpool, like,
I don't know how they get away with
what's
that sort
going
of
on?
stuff, man.
Like,
it's nuts. I've thought anyway before this false positive thing that if they can't field a squad, that's down to them. That's their issue. They need to sort that out. And they talk about all these youngsters, their academy, it being so good at Melwood or whatever, but clearly they're all shit.
It's not.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear nothing
shit.
about a Liverpool academy no more. Nothing,
No, exactly.
because you could have played them.
Yeah,
If they're that good, you could have played them.
Yeah, obviously I know it's quarterfinals against Arsenal or whatever, but everyone plays young kids in FA Cup and Carabao Cup and stuff like that. Look, we just obviously lost to Nottingham Forest because we played a load of young kids, but it's what it is. Like, you've got to do it, but like I still think even before this whole false positive, they should have had to forfeit the game, because that's not Arsenal's problem. Why should we be? Why should you get an advantage of it?
The Spurs fixture, didn't it?
Yeah.
The Leyton Orient. Yeah, they got. I hate this thing of just the blatant just favouritism to the top teams and compared to the rest of the league is just crazy. You get it from the Premier League, get it from the EFL. Like, it almost makes you think, what's the fucking point? Like, what's the point if everything is tipped so heavily in their favour? They're already great teams, and then you're going to tip everything else in their favour. It's almost like you might as well just have the Super League, because what's the point?
Yeah.
No one is going to be able to get involved anymore.
That's the thing I was saying in the group chat the other day.
Leicester's never going to happen again, ever. It's never going to happen again.
Not anytime soon, no.
No chance.
I think
Closest thing to it will be West Ham getting top 4.
Yeah. And they're not even going to do that, because
Actually, you say that. I've always maintained the stance that Liverpool winning league was bigger than Leicester winning the league, because their title defence for next year was absolutely shit.
That
It was the worst title defence ever.
yeah.
And
But Leicester winning the Premier
one.
League is way fucking bigger than Liverpool winning the Premier League.
Yeah, but in terms of like the achievement, I think for the sake of Liverpool being a pony club, it's the bigger achievement for them.
We'll have to agree to disagree on that one, my friend. But I see what you mean, because their title challenge was their title defence was horrific.
they've had a better.
They won it. They won it in a year when everyone else was like
Awful, yeah.
Exactly, and that's just how it is. I mean, City have got a sort of a monopoly on the Premier League right now, if we're going to be honest. It's nice to have Liverpool and Chelsea put up a little bit of a fight, but now they've just, they're 10 points ahead of Chelsea in second. They ain't going to lose this now. They've won the Premier League, basically.
5 games winning streak on the bounce.
Yeah, exactly. So it is what it is, but well, hopefully they can catch up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if City end up.
Newcastle and City soon.
Well, no, Newcastle are going to get relegated, so then they're going to have to do that. I reckon these Saudi lot will fuck off way before Newcastle become good, because it's going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. I reckon.
They're in there to just to do what City did, but on a quicker scale, because they've got more money. But
Newcastle, they're not there to make Newcastle great. They're there to make Saudi Arabia and that not look as bad as everyone already thinks that they are. It's a publicity stunt. Let's be real.
To be fair, I think
but so is the City one. City is sport washing. PSG is sport washing.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so
you've seen Trippier's obviously signed for Newcastle now, and he said obviously it's
lots of respect for him now.
Nothing to do with the money. Even though he's gone from AC Milan, a Champions League club, Atletico Madrid. Sorry, yeah, I was thinking of Tomori for a second. He's gone from Atletico, Champions League football, to relegation battle with Newcastle. Like,
yeah.
Is it really not about the money?
You wanted to play like competitive football, did you? Yeah, all right, mate.
I've lost playing competitive football in the Championship next year, mate.
Yeah, man.
But
I think enjoy it when your wages are cutting out. Oh no, I guess they won't be because they're super rich still.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're going to be. I think some of the moves that they're making in January are quite smart at the moment. I think they are moving in the right direction. Obviously, they've signed Trippier. They're looking at getting what's his name? Woods just signed for them.
They wanted
Lingard
Kier,
might be Kier, yeah.
but that's been shut down by Milan, I believe.
Yeah, Lingard is heavily linked with them at the moment, but he's
and
also
Tottenham.
He's also heavily linked with Tottenham at the moment. So who knows what's going to happen with that, to be honest. But I think they're making the right moves at the moment, improving their squads and getting the right sort of players in. If they were getting,
They need more centre backs.
yeah, not 100%. But if they were getting just awful players in, then I'd be like, well, you're not actually moving forward. But some of the transfers that they've made so far in January have been pretty positive, I think. And
Say, like, if this is what it finishes at, Trippier and Chris Wood does not tip the scale enough to stay up.
No, not at all.
No
But
chance.
I think that they're trying to make money moves pretty quickly in January. And I don't think this is the end of their transfer window. We're already obviously 12 days in. We've still got the rest of the month, but I think so far so good for them. But like I say, they've got to make still a fair amount of more changes if they're going to stay up this season.
I think they
100%.
clearly want a central defender, didn't they? So I think that they'll probably try and make 3 signings.
I don't know why they haven't gone and tried to get Tarkowski.
Yeah.
His contract runs out at the end
That
of the
would
season.
be ultimate shit.
And then they robbed Burnley of Chris Wood and Tarkowski. Oh my god. They're just
I mean,
that's what they should do. Just buy from the teams around them. I know that they're looking at Todd Cantwell as well. So just buy from the team. But Cantwell's not even starting for Norwich, so what does that matter?
Cantwell is
He's
super overrated.
He's had a big
He's a poor man's Conor Gallagher, both in looks and form. But yeah, no. Talking about that, I mean, we got our win in the South London derby of Palace Millwall against a vile fan base that still revel in being racist and homophobic and throwing stuff at players and all this kind of thing when it's just these 50-year-old bald white guys that evidently have shit lives that then come to the football and are just dickheads. But we put it to them.
I'm not sure if either of you two have ever been to a Palace Millwall game, but I went to one at Selhurst.
Only when I was a kid, but at Selhurst Park, yeah.
Yeah, I went to one at Selhurst.
Back in the Championship days.
They were. I think it was like FA Cup or something, and they had half the weight stand had nets all over it. The half closer to the Homesdale stand, so they were closer to like the family stand on the other end. But within the first 30 seconds of kickoff, all the Millwall fans had ripped all the nets off, actually ripped them instead of just pulling them off. They'd ripped all the nets up and spread themselves across the whole stand. Still managed to look like they'd filled out the majority of the stand, considering they only had half of it. But they were throwing darts at people in the Homesdale. And they were just throwing bottles and like glass bottles as well. I was like, how do you even get a glass bottle into a stadium? Like, how do you look?
Well, this would have been this would have been a little while ago, right? Selhurst Park is not known for their security and shit like that. I'll tell you that.
True. It's not. It wasn't like a great experience. They let all the home fans leave before they're allowing any Millwall fans to leave the stadium because they just knew that shit was going to go down. And I think the people were just like, well, let's at least give Palace some advantage and let them leave first. After them Palace having won the game as well. So,
I mean, it was a weird game because we started. The first half wasn't great from us. Like, I could see what we wanted to do, but we just weren't doing really much. Obviously, Jack Butler made the mistake, which led to the Afobe goal. In classic Palace fashion as well, boys. That was Benik Afobe's first goal in the competition since 2014, 2,000 something days away. That's what we love to do. We love to give these players a chance to get back on the score sheet just out of random nowhere. But I mean, if Butland's going to do
he's not
what
the player he used to be.
No, but yeah, he hasn't played in quite a while, so that's fair. And he is playing in a new style where he's got to play with the ball at his feet. But I'm happy that what happened in that game where we can come back and beat Millwall than in a Prem game. Because now that happened. Now, if he's in that position again, he is just going to hoof that ball away. I'm sure he is. Learn from the mistakes. Just get it away. There's no need in that scenario to be playing out from the back. But that kid, Michael Elise, man, just took over the show with obviously his fantastic goal coming straight out the second half. Did the same thing again just later, but hit the post and unfortunately came out. Could have been 2 identical goals. And then obviously set up for the Mateta header, which proved to be the winner. I mean, aside from that, I think we were great. We did sort of let Millwall get back into it towards the end of the game, and I was feeling a little bit nervous there. But but yeah, I have to say I'm happy to be through. This is the first time we've got through the first. I think the last time we got through the first round of the FA Cup was 2018. So I'm happy that we've actually, got through this one, and we've got Hartlepool at home next, which I'm very confident that we're going to get the win, especially now it's at Sellers Park. I mean, never say never because it is Palace. We could definitely come out of an absolute horror show and lose to Hartlepool, but I'm feeling good about that one. Hopefully we'll get round to the 5th round. But I don't know. Did you guys see any of the game at all? Or?
No.
Didn't see any of the Palace game, which I'm sure is a shock to you. But yeah, no, it's a good draw. Great draw, isn't it? For a lot of the Prem teams actually. Yeah,
there's some good games. Obviously, Liverpool got Cardiff, Fulham, Man City got Fulham, United have got Middlesbrough, Leicester have got Forest, West Ham have got Kidderminster, Chelsea have got Plymouth, Everton Brentford will be an interesting one. We've obviously got Hartlepool. And that's, I guess, Southampton Coventry. Tottenham Brighton will be very interesting.
Plenty of opportunity for some giant killings, but there's no like standout games, I'd say. But there's plenty of opportunity for upset. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. I could see a Leicester losing to Forest, or maybe even a Middlesbrough beating United somehow. Just doing something stupid. Like I could see us losing to Hartlepool as well. I could definitely. There's a world where we lose to Hartlepool. So it is what it is. But I'm excited for the FA Cup, man. I really want. And obviously in the spirit, wearing our 1990 FA Cup shirt where we lost to Man United in the final. But it is the 2 finals that we've been to in the FA Cup. We've lost both to Man United. Love that. But yeah, was there any FA Cup stuff you wanted to cover, boys, or should we get into previewing the El Premier League?
Let's get into the Premier League, I think.
To the El Prem. All right. Well, the big game on Friday, boys. We've just come from a South London derby. Now we're going to I don't know what you want to call it, derby.
M23 derby.
Yeah, I tell you what, right? Palace have been we've been gassing Brighton this derby way too much, man. That Millwall game felt way more like a derby, and like it had all the things of a derby than the Brighton games have ever had. Like,
I think the only reason that it's a big sort of derby with Brighton is because obviously you've both been in the Prem for a while now.
Well, I mean, it's the history from back in the FA Cup.
Yeah, of course, but it happened. It's more of I think it would be less of a derby if you guys weren't playing each other as often.
Yeah, and Brighton have got nothing else to have. They have nothing else.
Yeah,
we are all they have.
But no other do. Same with Millwall though as well. You said that felt like a
that's true.
A derby. Millwall don't have anything other than being absolute dickheads.
Yeah.
No, that's true. But my biggest one isn't even them two. Mind you, I hate Charlton. Charlton are the team that I hate in South. They're the ones that I hate the most out of anyone. But they're never going to do anything, so we're never going to play them. Basically, they're just going to be stuck in League One or League Two for the rest of their lives. But yeah, Brighton Palace, it's going to be a tough one. Obviously, Brighton it's at the Amex. Brighton have been looking good, but it's against us, and when it's against us, everything sort of goes out the window. You remember last season where they played us off the pitch, but we won 2-1 with the Mateta flick and the Benteke late minute. That's what happens. Obviously, they got sort of their own back with a last minute draw. But we all know Brighton celebrate draws. We all know that. But yeah, I think we're going to win it. I do. I think we're going to go there and smash them in the mouth, basically. But yeah, who knows? But not one of the biggest games. Obviously, there's 2 huge games this weekend. We might as well start with the big derby, the North London derby. Tottenham at home to Arsenal. Ollie, how are you feeling about this one? Obviously, bear in mind that Tottenham, since Conte has come in, Tottenham have taken the most points on average in the Premier League per game. I think it's 4 points or something they're averaging, or it's
4 points per game.
No, sorry, it's 2 and something points or something per game that they're averaging since Conte's come in. So they've got the best points.
I saw probably be City. City are 5-5 at the moment, probably more than that.
No, I saw it was something about Tottenham. I can't remember. It was something like that about Tottenham being the most points they've gained since. Yeah. But that might have been from a couple of weeks ago, to be fair. So it might now be City. Yeah.
Definitely less confident than I was. I think Conte is doing something with them. I don't think they're a completely changed team. They're still weak at times, and they can definitely. We could definitely still beat them. I think they've been lucky on a couple of occasions, but obviously now Conte seems to have got Harry Kane scoring again, but who knows really? I don't think they've got that many players out at the moment through sort of African Cup of Nations or COVID or anything. So I think they're going to have still a fairly strong squad. I doubt they're going to be making any big signings between now and the game, but who knows? If they do, it's probably going to be like Jesse Lingard or something, and obviously who knows if he'll start or not. But I'm feeling less confident than I was. Obviously it's away as well, so who knows? And obviously we're just coming off the back of that defeat, but I still feel like we could give them a good run for their money. I don't think we'll get trampled on by any means. Hopefully we can just repeat the same as the reverse fixture from earlier on in the season where we thumped them 3-1 and they didn't know what hit them. But yeah, they're definitely improving at the moment under Conte. You can't sort of really deny that. They're unbeaten, I think, still at the moment under Conte. But yeah, they are susceptible to a goal. Obviously, they conceded early against Morecambe. Obviously, came back. I don't think it's going to be as easy for them to come back if they concede early against us. But who knows? I think it's just got to be ruthless Arsenal, and if you score that early goal, keep pressing, keep pushing, don't sit back, and capitalise on that really.
Yeah, hopefully it's a little bounce back spot for Arsenal. Obviously, after the Nottingham Forest game, it seems to be that way. You get a run of steam, and then something stupid happens, and then you can get your run of start, getting your run of steam back.
So we're a 2-game losing streak at the moment. One against City, which I don't really think we should have lost, but unfortunately we did. It's City. I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah, it's a good barometer, that game, of where you are now. Because if you compare the first game against City to this game against City,
very true.
It's a good. Yeah, you can see the development and everything. So
yeah,
I'm sure.
100%.
Sure,
and
you
then
guys
obviously losing to Forest, not a great result by any means, but it's not going to be the team that we start on Sunday, which is something that I'm going to take and cling on to.
Will certainly be interesting to see how you two, Tottenham and Arsenal, match up. Given that I do agree with you. I think Tottenham, I think they're just like grinding out results, but they're not. They don't look good. I don't think they're not. They don't look good on the eye, and Kane's still not hit his stride.
No,
On's not quite doing it. They're relying on Eric Dyer, who's maybe probably in a bit of form, but other than that, they can still concede goals and they can still be got at. So I think this has the opportunity to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
But you can also see it being like a 0-0, because neither team will kind of want to commit too much. I don't think neither team will want to lose, but also neither team might not necessarily have the capability to win the game.
Yeah,
people written all over in it.
I think a lot of people are going to be a little bit cautious at the moment anyway, just because of so many pit players at the moment out at the moment with COVID, and obviously African Cup. Yeah, I know. African Cup of Nations as well. So people are going to be a little bit cautious. I don't think people are going to be obviously too crazy diving in for challenges, but then again, it's a North London derby. It means a lot to these players, especially some of these young Arsenal academy players. They've grown up wanting to play in the North London derby because that's like such a big thing for them, coming from Hale End. But yeah, I think I'm quietly confident, but also I don't think that it's going to be an easy game for us. I think it's definitely going to be a lot harder than obviously the reverse fixture at the beginning of the season.
Definitely. I don't believe Tottenham are looking to make any signings this January, which is kind of mad considering Conte. I'm fairly sure he made that abundantly clear that he wants signings.
Yeah.
But we all know that the Conte thing is just a phase. Like, he will be gone within the next 18 months. Like, if we're going to be honest.
I think they'll be really smart. I think there's a big possibility that Lingard does go there, and then it wouldn't surprise me if they pick up like Tarkowski for free.
That would be wicked. That would be wicked.
2-3 signings, and then it looks all rosy because they've got 2 new players in. When in reality, Conte hasn't actually managed to do much. They've got a 29/30-year-old Lingard and Tarkowski, who could actually be pretty good, but
pretty decent. But he's then still got to play either aside Dyer or Sanchez or Tanganga, who is so bad. Like, I don't want to hear anything about Tanganga. He is awful player. Like, he's like Tyrone Mings level awful.
That's the thing. If they're going to make these signings, are they realistic? How realistically are they going to be sort of?
Oh, guess that
they're
Christian
gonna be...
Romero. I forgot all about him. He's
Yeah.
injured, isn't he? He's fantastic. I promise he's fantastic. I promise. But he just hasn't shown it yet.
At the moment. But no, I think obviously how confident are they going to be that Harry Kane's going to stay? I think they're probably a little bit more confident than they were, just because of sort of everything that's happened. And City seem to be odds-on favourite to sign Haaland at the moment. So
he's going nowhere. He's staying.
what,
I don't know.
Kane
Nah, he's
or
not
Haaland?
staying. Oh, what, Kane?
No one can. Yeah.
Oh.
No one
Oh,
can
okay,
afford
yeah.
Kane. Yeah, Haaland's gone City, but no one can afford Kane. No one will want to buy Kane.
Bro, they should have sold him, man. Like, all these players that they have that are their big players are just getting older.
yeah.
Getting older and older, and they're not getting better.
Speaking
Like,
of
Son and Kane are just getting older and no better than they were a couple seasons ago.
yeah. Speaking of Tottenham, well, ex-Tottenham players technically, Gareth Bale might be retiring at the end of the season if Wales don't qualify for the World Cup. Rumour has it.
Really?
Rumour has it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, talking about Bale, I just want to throw this out. I don't know. I've got TalkSport on Twitter, and a video popped up of obviously football genius Jamie O'Hara. We all know,
Fucking hell.
saying that he would currently take St. Maximum over Gareth Bale.
Really?
Yes.
What prime
Yeah.
Gareth Bale?
No,
Or-
like right now. Right now, we'll take St. Maximum over Bale. And this is the Bale that, scored 11 goals for Tottenham last season, and St. Maximum who's got 10 in 3 seasons. So, who does a lot with his feet and no end product, St. Maximum. It looks pretty, but nothing happens.
Yeah, no, I think I'd still probably take Bale.
So I'd take Bale every day, man.
While we're briefly touching on Newcastle again, I just looked at the fixtures and for basically all of January. I think there's something to what you're saying about Burnley losing Chris Wood, because they've got Leicester next. So if you were Newcastle, and Newcastle have Watford, right? So if you're Newcastle, you're thinking, right, Burnley are above us, and then it's Watford. And so if we can beat Watford, but then Burnley lose to Leicester because they've not got a striker,
You jump both.
we jump both. And then the following week after that, Burnley have got Watford. Then you're like, right, well, one of them's going to be in trouble. So either way, we'll then be 6 points potentially above, one of them afterwards.
Newcastle got Leeds, right?
Um,
Is that their next? Yeah, then Newcastle got Leeds.
yeah.
Who were just above them.
Yeah, and then Burnley have got Arsenal. So if you're Newcastle, you're thinking, let's get rid of their striker, because their next 3 to 4 games without a striker are going to be horrendous. So,
Yeah, like Burnley might go. I didn't think Burnley were going to go down. I do think Burnley are going to go down now. Like I really do, and I just
Tactical
pray
masterclass.
that Newcastle are going to join them.
Although
I
you would
just-
assume
yeah,
that
I-
you would assume that they'd have to invest this 20 million. They should. If you were Burnley, you should just go for this like Ben Diaz, Blackburn.
Yeah,
Just give
Yeah, well,
Blackburn
yeah,
20
try and
million,
get
because he
some-
could go and try and get
Definitely.
him.
although the last Blackburn striker that's come to the Premier League's not exactly done a great job in Adam Armstrong. I mean, I forgot he played for Southampton. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, nearly played for you guys.
I'm so happy we went for Edouard instead. Holy
Yeah.
shit! Thank God for that. And we got him for cheaper than they got Armstrong. I mean, we got Elise and Edouard combined for cheaper than Newcastle have signed Chris Wood for, which is crazy.
I just can't believe they've gone after a 30-year-old striker.
I know. It's so new.
I think
Mike Ashley's
he's-
still running it.
His goal ratio is 1 goal every 3 games for Burnley. So it's not terrible. But then this season he's got 3 goals. So
Yeah, 3 goals in 17 games.
he's gonna have to do really, really well at the end.
He's gonna have to be a lot better. Yeah.
Speaking of
And
Mike
then-
Ashley, apparently he's preparing a bid to take over Derby for
course he is.
50 million.
Money laundering or something that'll go in that, I'm sure.
Mm.
But
Go from
allegedly. But but yeah, I mean, the next big game, I guess, of the weekend is Man City hosting Chelsea. I guess for people that are interested in who's going to win the league now, they'll be begging Chelsea to beat City because that's the only way you're going to make anything interesting. I mean, personally, I can't see it myself. I don't see it at the Etihad. I mean, it's not everyone's cut out to go and win at the Etihad, I mean, some teams are, but not every team is cut out to go and win at the Etihad. But you never know. Like I don't see Chelsea doing it, if I'm being honest.
I think City are gonna do it. I think something's gonna happen to Chelsea. The wheels are gonna come off. Since this Lukaku thing, they've not.
He's not been too bad though since he's come back, right?
Oh, he hasn't been bad since he's come back, but I think it's there's more reasons as to why you. Sorry, my light's just turned itself. There we go. More reasons as to why you'd do that interview, and I think the wheels are going to come off for Chelsea.
I don't see them. They're not winning the league. They will finish second or third for sure. Maybe third if Liverpool can keep cheating their way out of games and you know recuperating players.
Rescheduled that one.
What? Which one?
The Arsenal fixture, has that been like?
Yeah.
Is it this Thursday, right? No, is it tonight?
It's not tonight.
So.
Oh no, it's not tonight. It's Chelsea Tottenham tonight, isn't it?
Tonight, yeah.
It's West Ham Norwich tonight, isn't it? Same game.
Yeah, but Carabao. Yeah, tonight is Tottenham Chelsea, and then tomorrow is the first Liverpool Arsenal game.
Yeah.
Oh mate, well that's the game to watch, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's 2 legs, isn't there? So.
Yeah, there's 2 legs. So yeah, I'll be watching the Tottenham Chelsea game, even though the first leg, literally, I watched for the first 2 goals, and then I was like, right, this is done, and then nothing else happened for the rest of the game. I was so happy I turned it off. But
this will be a good insight into if Spurs get just swept aside here at home against a local rival, then the game this weekend, I reckon it's got Arsenal all over it.
I think so.
Badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you
because you'll have Conte come out at the end of this game and be like, yeah, we need signings, which he has said, but if they're not going to sign anyone, then why are you there?
Mate, you can see that Daniel Levy has already sucked the life out of Conte. Like remember what he was like at Chelsea, like running around, massive, like bigger than the world sort of character. Now he's just like, like moaning and stuff. But yeah, it's what Tottenham do, man. They just suck the life out of you. I'm sure it must be horrible. Although only
draining.
Yeah. But in terms of the other games, like obviously, Villa. We touched on Villa United. I would imagine. I don't know. Like at Villa Park, could be a very dangerous spot for United to go slip up again.
Coutinho comes in and absolutely just demolishes United's defence.
Coutinho's played like 86 games in like 4 years. He's not what he used to be. And
oh no. He's definitely not. Like the best thing he did.
He's brought him in to replace Buendia. Gerrard's been there 5 minutes and decided
Buendia must be pissed, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I know, right? He must be well annoyed. So.
But he wasn't Gerrard's player, right? It was Dean Smith's. So I kind of, you can kind of see why maybe he'd be making changes. That's the problem you get when you
sort of Gerrard being like, oh mate, do us a favour, can you come on loan? Yeah, sure, cheers mate, thanks, bye.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll pay half your £500 a week wages. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, true. I mean, the best thing that Coutinho did while at Barcelona was score the goal that knocked Barcelona out of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I'm not too worried about Coutinho. Yeah, these words might come back to haunt me, but do it, mate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried either, to be honest. I think I think you'll win. I just think it could be an interesting. It's definitely an upset position. A game for United here.
It's a must-win game. Every game we play in at the minute is a must-win game because we're 7th and we can't afford. This is like Van Gaal all over again, where it's just like every time another team slipped up, they didn't capitalise, and it's so frustrating when that happens. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, West Ham were right there. They got leads. Say if Arsenal do slip up and lose, and West Ham win, they'll jump Arsenal, go into the top 4.
Well, Leeds as well, by the way. The FA Cup looked and played terribly. So,
they've been bad. Like they've got fair play to them. They've got like no strikers, like at all. Like pretty much every attacking player for them is injured at the moment.
They are so lucky that they're 6 points clear.
But so why is Bielsa the most overrated manager in the league? Because he is, right?
Judging by this, yes.
I mean, he's an idealist, right? Like
For sure.
the way he plays is like the way he wants to play is amazing, but it just opens up. They just get absolutely drummed by any big team they play. Like they get shit pumped 7-0 by Liverpool. They got like 5-1 against United. Was it? You beat them 5-1 or something? Was it?
Yeah, I think so. It was another heavy one from us against them. Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
Ronaldo didn't even play. So
yeah, it's just crazy. Like, when do you sack Bielsa? Obviously, he got them back into the Premier League. Like, and they're 7 points off, or 8 points, sorry, off the bottom 3. So it's not like a crazy dire situation.
Who are they bringing in though? Lampard.
Big Sammy.
Lampard wouldn't go Leeds, no way.
Nah, I don't know if Lampard is genuinely interested in managing anymore, because the amount of offers and potential jobs he could have gone to, and do you want Lampard right now? Because he is proving to be like a bit of a puss when it comes to managing, right? Like, he's not taking chances. He's like the Gerrards and Vieiras and these lot are. And
I feel like he's waiting for the Everton job. I feel like he feels like he should have got that. I think he feels like he should have got that, and wouldn't surprise me if he's waiting for it, because there's so much pressure, and no doubt those fans will embrace. They'd embrace Lampard a lot more and a lot better than they would,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Leeds and Everton have they're on the same amount of points at the moment.
Yeah, but they've got a manager they've got an owner who's got money. They've got a young squad.
But they also have owners that have literally no football IQ at all. They're all just like accountants and businessmen. Like, they have no actual football acumen.
They might leave Lampard to come with it.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you look like he failed at Derby, if we're going to be honest. Like, he had some really good players in that Derby team, and he didn't get them into the Premier League.
Yeah. They're in the playoffs, aren't they?
You're in the playoffs, but he had Fikayo Tomori and Mason Mount in that team, like in the Championship, and he didn't get into the Premier. Like, do you know, like, that's crazy. He did well with that transfer ban at Chelsea, obviously getting them top 4, but the wheels all fell off when he actually had to make signings and stuff. Like, you're looking now, Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. That is awful. Them two. Yeah. Like, Kai Havertz has been terrible.
In fairness, though, I don't know if they were, necessarily his signings. And also, he got sacked the minute there was like question marks. I wouldn't even have called them question marks. Like, he didn't get fair. Like, teams and managers go through ups and downs, and he wasn't really given a fair crack. I do think it's odd that he didn't get the Palace job or the Newcastle job and the Everton job. You know what I mean? That's 3
He
jobs
turned us down. He turned us
that.
down because of the squad overhaul and stuff like that. He said it was too risky of a job, and you're like, bro,
look at you now.
Like, it's the Premier League. Any job is risky. Like, every job is risky. Like,
I think he wants money, doesn't he, and a cushy owner.
And he wants the perfect situation, and that just doesn't happen in football. I'm sorry, not for a manager that has essentially failed at pretty much all the jobs that he's been at. Like, if we're going to be brutal in terms of and how the Premier League is brutal,
he's very new to it all still. But yeah, it's not been great so far.
I don't know. It just
maybe he's just taking a year out. It might be because there was that Gary Neville with him.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he says there, doesn't he, that he's not in a rush. He's like, I'm not bothered. I am bothered. And yeah, that does seem a bit odd, but
I think he's still got age on his side. I think he's still young compared to a lot of managers and stuff like that. He might just want to just take things slowly, build more on his coaching and all that sort of stuff, and then potentially just try and take a slower route in instead of trying to. Obviously, he's had a bit of a shock to the system with obviously the 2 main jobs that he's had at the moment. So maybe he's just trying to take a step back and analyse what he did or what it was that went wrong for him. And
he should take the England under-23s.
The best thing he's done is turning down that Norwich job, because that is a dead job.
Yeah, there's just no hope in it, is there?
Smith is shit. What's Dean Smith doing?
He did start out really well, but then that is just the impact of a new manager, right? Like you have that little manager boost, especially when it's someone like Dean Smith that I think you can get behind. But he just doesn't have the players. It's Norwich are just terrible. Like their saviour this season was supposed to be Josh Sargent, a player who failed in the Bundesliga. Sorry, if a player can't do it in the Bundesliga, there's no chance he's doing it in the Premier League. No chance. Yeah. And he's done nothing. Like I don't even know if a lot of people know that Josh Sargent plays for Norwich.
Is he American?
Yeah, the American kid. Yeah.
So the name like Sargent, and it's definitely American.
Yeah. Don't rely on Americans when it comes to football. Pulisic's not even been that great, if we're going to be completely honest.
I actually forgot how much they signed him for. It was like 58 million or something.
Yeah.
That is like, far too much.
Like, not being funny, if Gallagher goes back to Chelsea and they're going to put him in like sort of that more maybe of like a narrow front three with Mason Mount, no way that the likes of Kai Havertz and Pulisic are starting over Conor Gallagher right now. Yeah. Not a chance.
You guys saw that video I put in the group chat of the guy that was trying to sell the Pulisic t-shirt on
oh my god, yeah.
On like Storage Hunt, or not Storage Hunt, it's Pawnbrokers or whatever it is. And this guy's claiming that he wants like $10,000 or whatever it was for this Pulisic shirt that's been signed and everything. So he's a prolific player in the Premier League and all this stuff. And I was a bit like
compared to Messi.
Yeah, being compared to Messi and Ronaldo. I was a bit like, literally, is this a new player that we don't know about yet? Like,
yeah, ridiculous. I mean, I'm trying to think. Pulisic probably does start everywhere outside of Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City, right?
Maybe.
Maybe Man United. Maybe not United.
I don't think I'd start.
He wouldn't start.
I think he'd start Arsenal.
I'm not sure about.
Well, it depends. It depends who it is. Like, if you're playing, yeah, I guess it depends really. Because Emil Smith-Rowe's not even fucking starting for Arsenal.
Oh no, he's out at the moment. He's injured.
Is he injured again?
Well, no, he didn't play in the FA Cup game the other day because he'd had a tight groin. But I don't think it's.
He came back from the injury, and then he's not. He wasn't starting. But you can understand that because Arsenal were in good form with the players that were playing, so you don't want to disrupt that.
But yeah, he's coming on and banging them in, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 2 games he came on in 70 odd minutes or whatever. He played 20 minutes and scored in both of them. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. I think he had a tight groin or something, so they didn't want to risk it and they didn't play him against Nottingham Forest. Fine, he should be back for.
Young.
Yeah, exactly. This is his kind of breakthrough season, really. You can give him a couple of games off or whatever, but yeah, I still think that he'll do a lot of good things, and I think at the moment, I'd still probably start him ahead of Pulisic.
Yeah. On the left, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I guess in Martinelli up top, maybe. I think that may be where the future lies for him. I think. Yeah. Personally, is where I think the future lies.
Depending on who we're obviously looking to bring in this January. I was just having a look through some of the transfer centre online, and Arsenal have been mentioned a couple of times in the last sort of hour or so. Udinese are looking to potentially sign Paolo Mari from us.
Wow. I know that Marseille are looking at Kolasinac.
Kolasinac, yeah, that was one of them. And apparently we've contacted Juve over a loan move for Arthur Melo. Yeah, Arthur Melo. So
that'd be good because not even starting for Juventus, that would be great.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, well, who knows what's going to happen in January? Really, hopefully, obviously, if we sign this Vlahovic as well, he can make a difference. But I think if Vlahovic is to sign for us, it's got to be now. I don't see him. But I don't know why he'd bother signing in. Well, he should sign now as opposed to in the summer, because he's then got 6 months under his belt with Arteta, getting to know Arteta in the team, everything like that, and in that settling in period. And then when players like Lacazette go, and Aubameyang probably will leave in the summer on a permanent, if not obviously this January, if he goes out on loan for 6 months or whatever, then like he's given these 6 months to settle into the team, and hopefully by summer, start of next season, he'll be ready to go. Obviously, we basically did that with Odegaard. He didn't have a great sort of first 6 months with us, and then obviously since we signed him on a permanent, he's actually been really good.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the sort of move that he needs to be making as well. But who knows what's going to happen.
No, it should be a good weekend of football and a good month of, well, a lot of just, is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? As the classic transfer window is. And then everything will get done on deadline day. But yeah, I mean, it should be interesting. I think City extend their lead at the top of the league. I just think that's not what's important. The top 4 race is going to be the interesting one because it is literally like, I'll still chuck United in there, but I don't think they're going to get it. But I'll put United, Tottenham, West Ham, and Arsenal as the top 4 candidates for that 4th spot. I think right now.
Yeah. I'm hoping because of obviously now we're out the FA Cup, we don't have to worry about that. Obviously, I know that was a first and only game of the FA Cup campaign this year, but obviously we've got Carabao Cup tomorrow. No Mane, no Salah for Liverpool and a couple other players. We've got a couple of players out, but nowhere near as bad as players like Mane and Salah. So hopefully that gives us a bit more of an advantage. But yeah, if we do go out of the Carabao Cup or whatever, then we focus on the Premier League, and that is it.
Yeah. That's winning the FA Cup anyway, so it's all good.
Good luck.
We are. I feel it.
But yeah, I think even if we lose to Tottenham, they'll actually go above us this weekend. So yeah, it just depends on what happens. Yeah, 2 games in hand, and they're only 2 points behind us. So yeah.
Damn. Okay.
I need it to be a boring 0-0.
Yeah, you need a miracle, bro. Yeah. But yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for us today, isn't it?
It is. I
think that's it. We covered a bit of FA Cup, bit of transfers, bit of Premier League, just a smorgasbord of football content for you. But we will be back next week for a review, preview, amalgamation again. We'll be doing our thing. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks. Yeah, subscribe, do all that. We haven't done this podcast in a while. I've forgotten how I outro. Right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow. You know where it is. It's all above me right here. You know, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Come follow us. Footy Fetish Podcast or Footy Fetish Pod. I think on pretty much everything. Yep. But yeah, take it easy. Thanks for joining me today, boys. It's nice to talk football with you again.
No worries.
And yeah, hopefully we pick up 3 dubs this weekend, right?
Fingers crossed.
That'll be nice. But anyway, take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.